Hey 3D printer people, it's John here again with GeoDroid John. Got the TronXY X1. So many X's. Printing. It is doing a great job. I'm still working on the 3D printed clock. As you see, I had to change some filament. I'm still using just scraps, just samples that I was sent with the other big orders of PLA filament I had. This is the benchy. You got to do the benchy when you got a new 3D printer. It looks pretty good. There's some extrusion issues you can see down there. Come on, buddy. You got it. Some extrusion issues, so I just changed some things in the slicer, not the slicer profile, but Simplify 3D. I recommend you get that profile, by the way. If you don't have one already, go and take that off. So, today what I'm going to talk about are the 5 things I like about this printer. First thing, noise. It is about as quiet as the CR10. It's much more quiet than the Printrbot or the RigidBot ever were. Almost on level with like a Delta. Now, I have it sitting on some corkboard because this shelf really makes some good vibrations. So I just wanted to, if I actually put this on actual footing, this is what it sounds like. The fan is the loudest part. But just because it's sitting, all that surface area is vibrating straight into this. That's why it sounds kind of loud on the speaker. So that's the number 5. Number 4, I like that it has an external control box. I was blown away when the RigidBot came with its own external control panel, because up to this point I have never had one. I always had to use a tethered PC to do it. This thing, I know Angus kind of gave it a hard time because the settings kind of suck. It's clicky. It's very clicky. You can see where it's at. Come on, man, focus. What is an $800 phone worth? Okay. You can speed it up. It tells you the type of how long you've been printing filament. I never had any of these features before in a external control box. So I enjoy that I can control that. It doesn't have an SD card reader. It's on the back side here. I just take it out and I put the G code on it for my settings. The other thing I like, this is number 3 now. The third thing, counting down, number 3, pause. The reason I had to do filament prints or swaps because I was running out of filament. This is what I like. Watch this. Oh, the right arrow is enter on these machines. Pause. It parks itself. It waits. You can swap filament, continue, maybe twice. It is kind of clicky. There it goes, right back to it. Right back to work, no big deal. So instead of like on the Printrbot, where you're like a NASA pit crew guy trying to swap it out while it's actively printing, this thing will actually stop, park itself. You can push some filament physically through the Bowden tube. And that way it starts right back off right where it left off. You don't want to touch anything while it's doing that, obviously, because then it's out of position. But this is the first printer I've had that will actually stop itself, park itself, and continue right on. So that's a really great feature. Let's see. The number 2 thing I really like about this is the expandability. I'm looking at this head on, or from the side. If this rail actually moved back and forth, this thing would be a Printrbot. This would be a Printrbot Simple or Play or whatever they are. I can put a bigger bed on here. Same trolley, just mounting screws in the same position. Make this longer. It can go all the way out as long as I want and get longer belt. Same pulleys, same motor. Change the settings in the profile, and now I have a bread loaf size print bed like the Makerbot replicator, where I can print larger parts. And honestly, longer parts are more often going to be printed than full-size CR10 square parts. Very rarely will you actually print something that large. So having a longer print bed would actually be more beneficial for a machine like this. So I appreciate that I can upgrade this, probably just mount it directly to that. So this rail comes right off T-slots. So I guess number 2 would be the T-slot design and expandability design that Press Reset really talked about. You can upgrade this. I don't see the need to upgrade the X because it's already so flimsy. But the Y, yeah, we can take that as long as we need to go. So that's pretty easy fix. And it's T-nut design, so you just got to put some T-nuts in there and you're all set. And the number one thing I really like about this machine is the price. For this price, $130 shipped, this is I've been blown away by the quality of the prints I'm getting. They're not perfect. I mean, let's see how close we can get here. The Z wobble is, the Z banding is barely noticeable. You could, I mean, it looks really bad on camera, but for the part of functional prints, this thing will still work. If you're looking for perfect prints, no, that's not this machine. This is a $130 starter machine. School projects, absolutely. Boxes for your enclosures, absolutely. But it's not going to have the same consistency as a higher end machine. And so for comparison, that is off the Printrbot Dual Metal Plus. Which one looks better to you? $1,300 machine, $130 machine. I'll take the Z banding for $130, Alex. Now compare that to something like the Rigidbot. Let me slide in here. What do I got? Rigidbot. Not Rigidbot. CR10. Nearly perfect. So a little bit more, a few $100. China's been killing it on the 3D printer game right now. So this thing's going to build a clock, and then I'm going to start building a rep wrap out of the parts I'm making on this thing. So there's the 5 things I like about the TronXY XY X1. Go ahead and listen to the comments to the things that you like about your 3D printers. Hit me up with a like, give me a good comment, and I want to talk to you guys. So leave some good comments, and we'll have a good time and keep building stuff. That's it. Have a great night, guys and gals and people and everything in between. Bye.